Yo, what up, what up? It's your boy, Mr. Vinny Dangerous, once again, and I'm back with another episode of the Dangerous Minds podcast. And I'm not here alone this week. Last week I had my pops. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in on that episode. This week I have another reoccurring guest, my friend Ashanti Turner.
Hello.
And for those who hadn't tuned in before, she was a part of the episode 9, entitled Let's Just Be Friends, which a lot of people seem to really love that one, so I had to go ahead and bring her back for another topic, because I love to get, when it's topics dealing with male and female, or like just women topics in general, I like to get somebody on here to speak on the women's behalf. So today's episode is centered around the controversy of what people are calling teacherbae. The teacher from Atlana, the elementary school teacher. Did you just laugh?
No, I sniffled. Jeez.
I didn't know what was going on, but yeah. So it's the teacher from Atlanta. She's an elementary school teacher, and she was voted sexiest teacher in America. I honestly did not know that they did anything like this. And yeah, she won. However, she won. I mean, she's a pretty lady. And since, that news has come out, she's gotten a lot of love and a lot of hate. There's been a lot of people who've been saying a lot of disparaging things about her, saying that she's very inappropriate in the classroom, and that she should, being scolded a lot to the point where she had to put her Instagram page on private. A statement from the school that she teaches at had to be released, letting people know that she has been reprimanded for the dress code. But, for the most part, people have been saying that she has been very, the way people talking to, like, she's been very provocative, like the way she dresses. But, a lot of it has to do with her body shape. She is a pretty curvy woman, and a lot of the things that she wears and stuff like that, there's no cleavage showing, there's not too much skin. A lot of her stuff are within the dress code that is presented in that school district and many other school districts. A lot of things that, and then, a lot of things she's wearing is not really necessarily deemed inappropriate by a lot of people. So there's a lot of people that were very concerned, and they've been throwing around the term body shaming. It's blown up a lot bigger than I thought it would. Up until like maybe a few days ago, I didn't even know what I was going to talk about on the podcast. And this thing blew up, and it got to being such a hot topic that, hey, I'm going to just go ahead and say something about it. And I brought my friend Ashanti on the show. And as we were talking about doing the show, she had a very interesting perspective that I really wasn't expecting from her. But it actually kind of, shows a different side of things. Like, do you want to tell the people what you had to say to me about what she, about the whole controversy?
Aside from this dress being ugly?
Well, yeah, that's a part of your point too. But is the other stuff when you were, because I thought when I was putting the episode together that you were actually going to side more with, her not being so inappropriate, but you actually had like a different perspective than what I was expecting you to have, and I thought it actually made it a little bit more compelling. It made me look at it from a different viewpoint.
Yeah. For me, I do think that she was inappropriate for wearing the dress, but not because of, like most people, where they were more disturbed by the fact that she was curvy and wearing the dress, but just the dress itself. I saw like a lot of things with like this story, and for me, most people don't know, graduated with a family and consumer science degree, but my concentration was textile and apparel design. So I understand the nature of clothes, you can say, and how the way you perceived is due to how you dress. So, of course, I've already said the dress is ugly. I mean, it just was. But aside from that, I think everybody is kind of missing the fact that this is a bodycon dress, and this isn't just the first dress that she's worn like this. She also wore a brown one, and she had a cardigan on with it. Now, first let's address like her wardrobe. Okay, yeah, we know that you're curvy and everything like that, but the tightness of her clothes. If she's working in an elementary school, I would think that that's uncomfortable. You're working
why you
around.
say it's no, okay, go ahead.
I would say you're working around a lot of active little kids, so I would think that like her tight clothes would kind of limit her range of movement. And she also has on high heels. It's like, come on now, like you're working with 9-year-olds, So I think it's not very practical. And then on top of that, it's a bodycon dress. So bodycon is short for body conscious, which we all know is going to show off the figure of the wearer. But yes, while her wardrobe is in compliance with the school dress code, it's not appropriate for the office. Bodycon dresses were worn for social functions, parties, clubs, not an office. I can kind of see if she was going to dress with more structure or something that was considered more business-like. And and people were saying like, oh, this is inappropriate and stuff like that. Then I could say, okay, cool, this is more about, the body shape of the wearer. But for me, it's not. I feel like on any person, regardless of body type, this dress would still be inappropriate. Just not because of the wearer, but because of the dress itself.
And the setting that it's supposed to be, the setting that is worn in.
Right. So it's okay that you're curvy, but like I said, I feel like on some level, her wardrobe choice in this case was inappropriate just because it's like, okay, you're a teacher now, you're working around other adults, you're working around kids whose parents you're going to possibly have to meet, and you do have to put on or project a more professional image, and this dress is incredibly casual. So, and then on top of that, I feel like a lot of the comments that are being made are from people of an older generation.
Yeah.
So they don't quite understand the style choices of younger teachers, let alone, or they don't understand the style choices of young people, let alone young teachers. It's like when you see young girls wearing, or anybody wearing like a tight dress or jeans to church. Older people be like, oh no, that's inappropriate. This is church. You need to dress a little bit more, in your Sunday's best, because they had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what is it called? Respectability, a projected respectability, by dressing kind of in your Sunday's best and more tailored clothes. Nowadays, it's not so much of a priority, I guess you could say. Respectability politic, that's what it is.
Oh, okay. And when you told me this, I actually saw your point. At first, it took me back because, you as a curvy woman, like I thought, like, I'm thinking that you could kind of sympathize with her a little bit more. But then, I mean, I could see that, I could see what you were saying about her, about the dress itself, maybe not appropriate for the setting, and it, in general, because of the type of dress that it is and the purpose that it's usually worn for. Mm-hmm. And I could kind of see that other parents would kind of keep their nose up at a parent-teacher conference, and you have, a woman in a bodycon dress, and it might send off the wrong projections. But okay, for one, I can sympathize because I work at a I work at a professional setting at the job that I currently work at now. And I feel like nowadays, especially, especially if you're entry level or it's really not as stressed like, as long as you're appropriate for the most part. That's what most schools like. I mean, it's not like she's in an office or some kind of like corporate building and they have like an exact look where they want people to be in. Sometimes it's like, hey, as long as you're covered from head to toe, and as long as you're not like the picture with her in the jeans. I looked at that one and I said that might have been like her, like it might be field day or something. Or, like a field trip or something that they're not like in their usual classroom setting. They're going to be outside, so I wouldn't expect, my teacher, if we're going to the park or the zoo or if we're going to be outside in the field and stuff, I wouldn't expect my teacher to be dressed up in a dress. Or if I had a male teacher, he'd be in his dress shirt and tie and slacks or whatever. I would expect him to be casual. But with our other dresses, I mean, I always say, I look at it like, even at the job I'm at, there are some people that go to work and they dress a certain way. Like there's like almost two ways you can do it. It's like one way is you're only doing it to kind of get by. And that's me. Like I'm really not that big of a fan, for me personally, of like wearing dress shirts and pants. I mean, and slacks and dress shoes and stuff like that. It's never been my thing. I know I look good when I put it on, but I'm not there really to do much more than just get past. Like if I'm dressing good enough to get me through the door and like be in compliance to dress code, that's all I really care about. And then there's some people that really take it and they might put on the suit, even though you don't have to wear the suit, you just have to wear the shirt and the tie. Or there's some people that really put in pride, like, up and down, like how the shirt and the pants, and then they got the cufflinks and the watch that matches. Some people that take that extra time to do that. So then it's like two people. So I'm thinking when I see that dress, she might not necessarily be putting this on to be like on top of dress code to that point. It's just kind of like to get by. It's kind of like just, I'm just throwing this on because it's what I have in my closet when I got the job. And I can, just go on, with my day and not have to worry about it. Like, I don't really have to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe for this new job. And there's some people that will take the money and go get a whole new wardrobe because this is what the dress code implies and everything like that. So
but I don't even think that.
With that.
True, but I don't even. But even in you saying that, I feel like that's a problem. Like, just to get by, you wearing something just to get by, or, you don't really have to worry about it. Okay, so how seriously do you really take your job?
I mean, for me personally, I don't. I can speak for myself. This is what I'm, the podcast and music and just getting my own business going. That's kind of where my mind's at. And I'm not really, I'm not going to say what I do because I don't want people to know where I work at. But
I can say what you do without saying where you work at.
Oh, well, true. Okay. Well, I'm a bank teller. All right. So, where I work at currently is just kind of like, no disrespect to my employer, but it's just, to kind of put food on the table. And who knows, I might change my mind later down the line depending on how things go. But right now, my agenda is to get this music popping and to get this podcast going and just overall create a business and a brand for myself. So me personally, I'm like, nah, I'm not really. So I'm just dressing what I got to dress like to get myself through the door. I mean, I still look good. I don't look raggedy.
But I mean, even in like the pictures that I've seen, not to be picking on you, but even in the pictures that I've seen, you have on a nice collared shirt with a tie and a pair of khakis. And that to me is more professional than a bodycon dress. Like, it just kind of is what it is for me. Like, I feel like you can be stylish and you can be fashionable while still being professional. Now, I don't think that this issue would have been a big of a deal if she wasn't curvy. That's the problem, because it's just like, okay, would you all still be making this much noise if this was a skinny white woman, or if this was even like a Coco? Like, she white with a lot of curves. Like, would you all be making this much noise if there was a woman with the body shape of Coco who was white in the classroom with a dress like this?
Honestly, I think so. I think it's. I don't really think it's a lot to do with, like, in this particular situation at least. I don't think that it's has as much to do with somebody being black or white. It has more. It's more of the body type, because I remember.
But how
I was
often
watching. Well, I mean, I know. Look, majority of the time, when you think about women with curves, you think about black women.
Right. I was about to say, how often do you see a white woman with curves who hasn't surgically enhanced herself?
Yeah, I mean, but they, they are out there. Like, there's there's rare occasions, but there's gonna be those exceptions every once in a while. But I think it's more of the body, and then what that body shape kind of translates to people when they see it. Because, like you said, if it was a more slender woman, right? Because, like, on the cover to this podcast, like, that's one of the pictures that people were floating around. Like, that was on the other side of the argument, and trying to figure out, is it her body that makes people uncomfortable? That's where all the controversy is coming from, because they put other women in those same dresses, and even where I work at now, I've seen women in those kind of casual, bodycon dresses or something like that. They may not have the same shape, but they wear those same type of dresses, and people don't really bat an eye. And it's not. I honestly didn't even. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw those pictures. Is that I'm thinking, like, yo, my coworkers from my current job or my previous job, they were wearing stuff like this. And even in a more professionally structured, environment where I'm at, I'm thinking it would be more of an issue there than it would be in the classroom. I'm thinking the only reason why somebody would be scolded from teaching would be because somebody got their titties out, or they stuff is too short, and you seeing like mad thigh and stuff like that. Because somebody posted. Because, it's funny, because before the whole teacher thing went over, like with the girl, I seen a guy, an elementary school teacher that's a male, and he got a beard and tattoos and muscles, and he's wearing like a t-shirt and jean shorts.
And nobody said anything, right?
Exactly. So that was the thing that kind of got me, because I don't remember my teachers being like, wearing pantsuits and blazers and stuff like that. I just remember them wearing dresses. I remember we were wearing dresses. Some of them wear like slacks with a t-shirt, like with a, like not a t-shirt, but like, the professional shirts you put a blazer over or something like that. Or it was never like this super structured thing. So I felt like it had to be. And then, you kind of look at the comments that people were making too. It wasn't even about, like, you have your point about her, what she's wearing not being appropriate for the office, but that was not what that's not what sparked the controversy. The controversy was making her, like, sexualizing her.
Yeah.
If you look at
which is a problem for a lot of people, like how I was telling you. The thing that kind of gets me about this whole issue is that a lot of people who don't matter are being made to feel like they matter. So just simply the fact that this woman has to release a statement or the fact that she's been reprimanded from her school, has to put her Instagram page on private, it's just like, why?
Like, pretty much having to hide from the public. Because it seemed like she was a pretty normal person. Like, she didn't really, it wasn't like she was fame driven and nothing like that. She was just a teacher. And she probably dressed like that every day, and the school didn't have no issue with it.
Until somebody said, a bunch of nobody said something.
Like, they ain't putting food on her plate. Like, shit, so most people probably don't even, like, have kids that go to her school.
Most of these people probably don't even have kids.
Exactly.
And that's my issue. People who before were not affecting her in any type of way are now affecting her.
And, it can get crazy because I've been attacked on the internet before. Like, sometimes people say like it shouldn't matter, but it's like, huh?
Nobody bullying you.
This is a while back. We could talk about that off microphone. But what is that?
And I'll fight somebody now.
It's okay. It's okay. I know you got my back. We homies for life.
I'll get you now.
I know. But but just speaking from personal experience, that stuff can get overwhelming. And it's like a lot of people just saying negative stuff about you, and especially because especially when somebody lives a simpler life, like they're not really out here chasing fame. And all of a sudden, you got all these people coming at you. Probably dudes making like all kind of crazy sexual advances towards her. Or, you got these people, like these women and men talking mad shit, telling her that she's no good for the classroom. And, I mean, I could see where that can get overwhelming when somebody's just out here doing their job.
Right.
And something that she probably had nothing to do with getting that, winning that, sexiest teacher in America award or whatever it was.
Right. And now people are disturbed for whatever reason because it's just like, oh, teachers aren't supposed to be sexy. Like you just supposed to go and teach and do whatever. And it's just like she cannot help what people say about her. And now y'all are jumping on her because you assume that
like her body means sex. And I think that's what a lot of it stems from. It's like, because she looks like that and she's shaped like that, it's anything she puts on, unless she wears like a muumuu, or because it really wouldn't have mattered. Like them pantsuits and them what is it? What's it like when it's a suit but it has a skirt at the bottom for women? What is that called?
Skirt suit.
Oh, that's what it's called.
Yeah, like with a blazer and a skirt suit.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, she wear that, and she like wearing slacks. I mean, she thick as a motherfucker. So like her body, yeah, I did. Like I'm just being real. Like her body is gonna it's gonna be out there. Like unless you wearing something real mad baggy. And is that really the problem? I mean, even if she wore a pantsuit, she's still gonna look like that. And then them kids is probably still gonna have whatever thoughts they gonna have, whether they look at it that way or they don't.
But just the fact that people are saying like, oh, because I saw a comment, it was just like, second graders, kids are second graders. I mean, kids are perverts by second grade. It's just like, why would you even think that your second grader is lusting after his teacher? Should that really be a concern of yours? How about we figure out if he knows his times tables, okay? 5 times 5, because most people don't even know 1 + 1. Like, let's get that first.
Shit, I was all into my timetables and cartoons. Like I didn't even really get into girls till puberty like that, to be perfectly honest. It was all cartoons and schoolwork and having fun outside, like playing in the dirt and shit. That's all I cared about in second grade.
Exactly. And it's just like,
so people are already making that assumption.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I mean, it's one thing to have like an innocent crush on your teacher. It's another thing to try to like over-sexualize the situation.
Right, and then to be placing it on your kids, it's just like, no, let's call a spade a spade. You're thinking that. Like, you're thinking that. And like I said, granted, I feel like she was inappropriate for her dress choice. Mm-hmm. But I do not... Ugly? Yeah, it's because it is. It's just an ugly dress in any color at that. But while, like I said, I do think that she is inappropriate for her dress choice, mm-hmm. I do not think that she should be having this much criticism placed on her, and I do not think that it would be coming from any other place. Mm-hmm. if she didn't look the way that she was. Like I said, that's a problem. And people's reaction to it is a problem. And we're living in a place where they tell you, oh, love your body, love your curls, anybody shape it, that you are, love it, love it, love it. But then when you have a woman who puts on a dress like I said, albeit inappropriate for the environment that was in. When she puts on a dress that makes her feel good and just so happens to show off her body type, you all jump on for doing that. And so it's just like, what message are you really sending to her? What message are you really sending to young women and young girls?
You know, a lot of it's all from jealousy anyway. You know, I mean, like women that are attacking her, especially the ones that don't even like have kids. I know that has everything to do with jealousy.
What, that they wish they could wear a dress like that?
I mean, they wish they could look like that. And just be real, and it's like because a lot of this shit was vicious. Like, okay, so I wanted to also talk about this before we run out of time. That I was watching this video, and I hate to get at Peter Rosenberg the second time, but he's 2 episodes out of the last 3 I've had to get him. Oh, he's one of the DJs from Hot 97. Oh. And one of the things he said kind of, perfectly expresses my issue with what he was talking about. Is that he flat out said that he thought that she was being purposely sexy because of what she had on. And that she knew what she was doing, so they almost pretty much saying that
she brought it on herself.
Yeah, like pretty much saying that she brought it on herself. And
well, isn't he a dummy?
Yeah, and I thought that's crazy. Because like I said, they because a woman puts on a dress doesn't mean she's purposely trying to be sexy for somebody.
Or asking to be verbally attacked. Like, that's like saying if I walk down the street with a skirt on, I'm asking for cat calls. Or, see, here's a problem that I have with his statement, because it's pretty much affirming rape culture.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem that you're kind of having, because it's just like, because I look the way that I look, I'm asking to be mistreated.
Yeah.
Which therefore makes it okay because I asked for it, which I didn't.
And that's, I think, because I remember when I was putting this episode together, that was one of the things I was trying to figure out, like, what's the bigger issue here? And the bigger issue is that, somebody that's shaped a certain way or even dresses a certain way shouldn't, it's basically people saying that she should not get the respect from her classmates and classroom and her, the parents of her students and everything like that. She doesn't deserve the same respect because of how she's shaped and the way she dresses. And I didn't see a stripper in that picture,
even if she was, like...
but I'm just saying, like, I don't think I want my... I can agree on that. I wouldn't want to have naked women, teaching the classroom. So I don't know. Who knows? Just just like you said, in a certain setting, certain things are appropriate. And I didn't think that she was that far out of dress code to be treated like she was pretty much half naked coming in the classroom.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, that's how I phrased it, because, like I said, granted, she was all covered up and everything like that. It's just, for me, the dress itself was inappropriate, but I feel like a lot of people most people were not even noticing that. Mm-hmm. Which again is a problem, because it's just like you all went straight past his dress and just saw booty.
Yeah. Which I think is the main issue. Like, we can help her get to the point as far as like being professional, but being attacked because of how she's shaped is the issue here.
Right.
And I think that's where
and just sexualizing her, period, when all she did was just put on a dress and go to work.
Alright, but that's our time. We got about 30 seconds left. So it's been real. It's your boy Vinny Dangerous, my guest.
Ashanti Turner. Thank you.
And it's been another episode of the Dangerous Minds podcast. We'll be back again next week. Come out to the show on the 24th, when I'll also be releasing my new song, On My Way. All right, and I'll see you soon.